Welcome to Mumtaz Arabic, a fun and conversational podcast series which will introduce you to Arabic and give you some handy tips for learning the language. My name is Marita Petherbridge, and joining me on Mumtaz Arabic is Damien Doyle, a fellow Aussie and a fellow Arabic learner. Hi Damien.
Hi.
And rounding out our panel is Mohamed Qassar. Mohamed is a Syrian who has lived in Australia long enough to learn all of the local slang. Among many other things that keep him busy, Mohamed teaches Arabic. Hi Mohamed.
Hi Marita.
So Mohamed, how do we say hi in Arabic?
We usually say marhaban, and in some other Arab countries we say assalamu alaikum.
Is one of them more formal than the other?
Both of them are formal, but one of them is more Islamic than the other. So in most of the Islamic countries, or where the Islamic culture is there, they use assalamu alaikum, and the response would be wa alaikum assalam.
And that literally means peace be with you, and then peace also with you. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
That's one of the first things that I learned when I started Arabic, and it's really interesting because when I learned what the literal meaning, peace be upon you and also upon you, is, I was reminded of going to Mass when I was a young boy and always saying at the end of Mass, peace be upon you and also upon you. And I wondered if, maybe these expressions all come from the same point of origin.
They come from the same origin, and even not only Muslims in the Arab world use these greetings, even Christians or Jews, they all use assalamu alaikum or wa alaikum salam. It's part of the culture right now rather than part of the religion.
Huh. And Mohamed, could you explain what Mumtaz in our podcast name means?
Yeah, sure. Mumtaz means excellent, and it comes from the root imtaza, which is to excel. And this expression I always use with my students. Damien is one of them. So whenever he does good in his exercises, I'd say, Mumtaz Damien. But sometimes when he fails something, I give him 10 push-ups. 10 ضغط.
I do a lot of push-ups.
That's why you're fit.
Arabic is one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations, and it's spoken by nearly 500 million people. Mohamed, can you give us a bit of a history of the language?
Yeah, sure. Arabic is the most spoken Semitic language. It is spoken by around 420 million people, mainly in the Arab world. But as well, it's spoken by most Muslims all around the world. Maybe they don't speak it, but they practice it in their prayers when reading Quran. So it's well spoken all over all around the world.
So in Muslim countries where Arabic is not the native language, do they still pray in Arabic?
Yes, they do. All the prayers in Islam are done in Arabic. And when people read the Quran as well, they read it in Arabic, although they have the translation next to it. So they read the translation to get the meaning. But when they read or they want to recite the Quran, it should be in Arabic.
Is the Arabic in the Quran the same Arabic that I read in a newspaper in the Arab world?
No, it's not the same. Arabic usually designates one of 3 main variants. So we have the classical Arabic, we have the modern standard Arabic, and then we have the colloquial. The classical Arabic is the language found in the Quran, and it is the most profound Arabic structure that you find. It was one of the miracles of Prophet Muhammad when he came to his clan, but it's not the one that is used on a daily basis. Then we have the modern standard Arabic that is derived from the language of the Quran, and the one that we teach to our students. It is usually used in schools, universities, and sometimes in workplaces and government. Then we have the colloquial Arabic, and this is the language that is spoken all around the Arab world, and this is the one that makes some troubles to learners, because in every country they have different dialect. And if you go to Sham, to Syria, to Lebanon, you speak one dialect. If you go to Morocco, to Algeria, it's totally different dialect. So and this is the spoken language all around the Arab world.
When I'm not studying Arabic with you, Mohamed, and doing push-ups, I study politics in the Middle East. And my studies meant that I needed to travel, and the first thing that I found when I was traveling was that my very basic modern standard Arabic wasn't understandable to local people. And when I tried to talk to Iraqis with my Ismi Damien and my Assalamu Alaikums, they responded with Shakomako and Shlonak.
That's correct. And it is very difficult for a native Arabic speaker to use the modern standard Arabic. So most of the Arabs understand the modern standard Arabic because they listen to it in the news. When they watch documentaries, they listen to modern standard Arabic. But sometimes, or most of the time, it's very hard for them to respond in standard Arabic. So that's why when my students come back to me and they say, I couldn't use modern standard Arabic in the Arab world and I was embarrassed to use it over there, I'd say, no, keep using it, and they will be embarrassed not to speak their own language.
And I suppose because the Arab world is so big and extends from the tip of Africa across North Africa and into the Middle East, I suppose too that not only do you have dialects, but you also have Arabic doing what all languages do and interacting with the other languages around it. So I guess in North Africa it would borrow words from French, and I know that in Iraq Arabic is influenced by and shares words with Persian.
That's really correct. And Arabic, or especially the dialect, are influenced by other languages. If you go to North Syria, for example, you'll hear, or even North Iraq, you'll hear lots of Turkish words. Eastern Iraq, they use Persian. If you go to North Africa, they use lots of French. So it is influenced by all the languages around them. But when we talk about dialects, we have 4 categories or 4 main dialects in the Arab world. So we have the Western dialect, which is the Maghribi dialect, which is used mostly by North African people. Then we have the Central dialect, which is used by Egyptians and Sudanese. Then we have the Northern dialect, or we call it the Shami and the Iraqi, that's used in Bilad al-Sham, Levantine, and in Iraq. And then we have the Peninsula dialect, which is the Gulf, the Yemeni. So there are certain categories, but even in Syria, like as you said before, that I came from Syria, so every city has its own dialect. So if someone comes from Homs, so I can know that he's from Homs, or this person is from Aleppo. So from some vocabularies that they use that are distinct for this region or another one.
So Mohammed, can you teach us how to say hello and goodbye so that everybody will understand us?
Yeah, sure. Usually we use the modern standard Arabic one. So when we say hello, it's marhaban. Can you say after me? Marhaban.
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 And goodbye, it's ma salama.
Ma salama.
Ma salama.
Really good.
There's that word again, salama. What does that mean?
Salama is safety. So go with safety.
And what about if I want to say please or thank you? Is there a way to say that every Arabic speaker will understand?
Yeah, the polite way of saying please is law samaht, or sometimes min fadlik. And do you want to say it after me? So can you say law samaht?
Law samaht.
Law samat.
And min. And for example, for thank you, we'd say shukran. Can you say shukran?
I know this one. Shukran.
Shukran.
And the response would be afwan.
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 Really good.
Shukran, Mohammed. And I suppose it's almost time for us to say ma salama. But hopefully you'll be able to teach us some more words and phrases in the coming episodes.
Yeah, sure. Insha Allah.
I hear that word all the time.
There are lots of Arabic expressions like Insha Allah that are really interesting, and you hear them all the time but maybe don't know what they mean. And that's one of the interesting things that we're going to talk about in a future episode of this podcast. And we're also going to have a look at some Arabic words that pop up in other languages, especially in English, the words that we've borrowed from Arabic and that we use all the time. And very helpful for me, we're going to look at how to pronounce Arabic letters that are tricky, ones that aren't at all like their English counterparts.
So thank you, and shukran Mohammed.
Afwan.
And shukran Damien.
Afwan.
And I'll see you both next time.
Inshallah.
And shukran to everybody for listening to the first podcast of Mumtaz Arabic. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving us a positive review on iTunes, and we'd love to have your company again next time. Goodbye, and masalama.